Hello everyone, this is The Last Word and I'm Maria Shakil. It was the day of Speaker's election. Om Birla was elected with a voice vote. A rare moment of bonhomie was witnessed soon after. But it was short-lived and chaos returned after the newly elected Speaker mentioned the dark days of emergency and called for 2-minute silence. He asked the members to rise for 2 minutes in order to express and in fact rise for 2 minutes silence to mark the 50th anniversary of the dark days of emergency. This sparked an uproar from the opposition benches and the House was adjourned. Did the Speaker do the right thing today? On the very first day he was elected. That's the big question that I ask on the show tonight. But first up, the story and then I bring in the guests.
1975 में देश में आपातकाल इमरजेंसी लगाने के निर्णय की कड़े शब्दों में निंदा करता है.
Minutes after Birla was re-elected, a resolution against the emergency was passed, with the Speaker saying it was a setback to Indian democracy.
इमरजेंसी के दौरान भारत के नागरिकों के अधिकार नष्ट कर दिए गए, नागरिकों से उनकी आजादी छीन ली गई. ये वह दौर था जब विपक्षी नेताओं को जेल में बंद कर दिया गया. इमरजेंसी का वह समय हमारे देश के इतिहास में अन्याय काल का एक काला खंड था.
This led to protests from the opposition.
It's rather unfortunate, it seems to me, that the Speaker himself has ended up undermining that spirit with a very divisive statement about the emergency, which frankly was not necessary. It was 49 years ago.
समाजवादी नेता और समाजवादी उस समय के जितने जनता पार्टी या तमाम नेताओं ने भी उस समय को देखा, लेकिन हम पीछे मुड़ के कितना देखें, हम पास्ट को कितना देखें.
यही लोकसभा अध्यक्ष है जो एक झटके में 100 से ज्यादा सांसदों को निलंबित करेगा. आपातकाल में ऐसा नहीं हुआ.
BJP leaders spoke about the resolution, describing the emergency as the darkest chapter in Indian history.
Cabinet rectified on the morning of 26 June 1975. That is why today we passed the resolution in the House that such trumpulation of such demolition of the Constitution will not be allowed again. So we have taken a resolution.
Today was also the day Rahul Gandhi took over his first constitutional post. He is the third member of the Gandhi family to become the leader of opposition after Sonia and Rajiv Gandhi. With Vasudha Venugopal, Maria Shakil and Sunil Prabhu, Bureau Report, NDTV.
Let me bring in my guests now. Supriya Shrinate, national spokesperson of the Congress, is joining us. We also have Tuhin Sinha, spokesperson of the BJP, and Ghanshyam Tiwari, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Tuhin, I'm going to begin with you. Did the Speaker do the right thing by raising the issue of emergency, particularly today? What was the occasion?
Absolutely, Maria. First of all, let me congratulate Om Birla ji for being reappointed, for being re-elected as the Lok Sabha Speaker, but more importantly for his hard-hitting resolution which exposes the Congress Party's misdeeds. These people who ostentatiously display the Constitution, the truth about them should be told to the younger generation. They were the ones who tampered, with democracy. They were the ones who had more than 1 lakh people behind bars. They were the ones who crushed the judiciary. They were the ones who decimated the powers of the media. And today they are again.
He says there should be consensus. And then he talks about emergency. What was the occasion? Today wasn't 25th.
For consensus to come, you need closure. And closure happens when you face the truth. And even the allies of the Congress Party, they didn't seem to support, the Congress objection to the resolution, whether it was TMC, whether it was Samajwadi Party, because all of them have lived the horrors of emergency. So to make sure that such a dark chapter is never repeated in the future, I think it was very important for that resolution to be put forth, and I'm glad that Om Birla ji did that.
But it's very clear that the government of the day actually believes in confrontation on an occasion such as this. That's
I
the
think
message that is coming in. But
not at all.
Supriya, comment on this. Don't
Not
you
at
think
all,
there are
just 10
several
seconds.
lessons to be learned from the dark chapter of India's democracy? Then why the reluctance from the opposition to acknowledge and condemn emergency?
Okay, so here's what I want to say, because it was the first day of Parliament and we wished that there was bonhomie. I think Rahul Gandhi made a great gesture. He was the one who extended his hand to be shaken by the Prime Minister. He, as leader of opposition, and as leader of House, Mr. Modi, the two of them together walked the Speaker to his chair. I think what followed, and I think Mr. Modi made a statement, Mr. Gandhi made an extremely statesmanlike statement. It was bonhomie, it was constructive opposition, it was business could be done if the opposition was going to be given the room to speak, voice the concerns of people that we represent. That was how the template had been set. And then Mr. Om Birla, and I'm very sorry to say, with all due respect for the person in his chair, Mr. Om Birla is notoriously famous for suspending not one, not two, but 113 parliamentarians in the last 5 years, and almost 100 of them in one single session. He's notoriously famous for switching off mics of parliamentarians. He's also notoriously famous for showing himself for 11 minutes in a 14-minute speech that Rahul Gandhi delivered in Manipur. We haven't forgotten that. We were still willing to put that behind us. And may I also say, I think my leadership, I think Rahul Gandhi is on record to say that emergency was a mistake. We need to move on from there. We must never do anything that will annihilate the freedom of speech and expression. He is on record to say that. So if you want to keep festering that wound, and if you want to keep, instead of letting that wound heal, if you want to keep festering it, we are also going to remind you of the dark days of the last 10 years. And those dark days are very, very bad, because in those dark days of the last 10 years, you've arrested a 21-year-old climate activist. You have said that a pop artist is hatching conspiracy theories against India. You have jailed and you have filed UAPA cases against independent journalists. You are trying to bring about legislations that will monitor, control, and rein in YouTube content makers. That's what you are doing. So you have no moral high ground.
Okay, Tuhin, a response from you. Because let's not forget that in the last Lok Sabha, when it was Mr. Om Birla who was the speaker, he had suspended a record number of MPs as well. So at that time, his actions were seen as partisan. For him to make this speech,
we have seen that during the discussion.
This is what the opposition says, that his speech was divisive in nature.
Let me also remind you of the opposition behavior during important debates when the Rafale discussion was happening. When a lady defense minister was speaking, all that Rahul Gandhi and his people were doing were throwing paper planes and winking. That's on record. When the Farmers Bill was introduced, Derek O'Brien, who's a repeat offender, by the way, in 2014 also he tore the Telangana bill when Congress was in power. In 2020, he again tore that bill. So when this kind of a behavior is repeatedly put up, the speaker unfortunately does not have much option. Because the House needs to function, the House needs to transact business. And the reason why reminding the Congress party of emergency is very important, because in the last 3 months, that is precisely what they have done, tampered with the spirit of the Constitution by spreading doctored videos about the Constitution being under threat, which is a hallucination, which is a weird imagination of theirs, far away from the truth.
But people actually believe that there was a larger conspiracy behind it, and that's what led to the numbers going down. Yes, go ahead, Supriya.
I have a very small submission to make. This is the copy of the Constitution that Rahul Gandhi held throughout his political electoral campaign. This very Constitution is what he hailed. People of this country heard you, your people, your parliamentarians, your ministers, your candidates were on record to say they will change the Constitution, and which is why they need 400. From Anant Hegde to Jyoti Mirdha to Lallu Singh to Giriraj Singh to Mr. Drupadi, who is your MP from Telangana, there were various people who said that. Not once, but multiple times over. We were not the ones hallucinating. Your guys were saying they will change the Constitution. And the one thing that this country stood up to, please keep quiet 1 second. But the one thing that this country stood up to is the fact that they will not let you tamper the Constitution in letter and in spirit. So please beware.
Okay.
Don't ever try and do that again.
Okay.
And one last thing I want to say. No, Maria, 1 second. He spoke very eloquently about women defense ministers. Well, I would like to say, why were you quiet on Prajwal Ravanna? Why were you quiet on Brij Bhushan Singh? Why were you quiet when
Can I
your
answer that?
MP called a fellow woman MP, Vaishali Ki Nagar Vadhu? Why were you quiet? I would like to know. You want to talk about farmers' bill? You kept Ajay Mishra Taini as your state home minister. The people of India rejected him.
Okay,
and he
I'm
was
going to come
defeated
back
this
to you,
election.
Tuheen, because
Can
you know,
I just
Ghanshyam has
quickly
been
respond?
patiently
There was some
waiting
respect.
for his turn.
Don't forget that.
Ghanshyam, you know, it's rather ironical, or as we say, that a lot of water has perhaps crossed under the bridge, that all those political parties which were seen as anti-Congress, were standing against emergency, are now part of the Congress-led alliance, which is the India bloc. So, in terms of emergency and it being a blot on Indian parliamentary democracy, something that you will also acknowledge, then what was really the objection from the Samajwadi Party and parties such as yours, including the RJD, which have been anti-emergency? That was the very basis of their politics.
Good evening, Maria, to you, the viewers, and my fellow co-panelists. There are three things that are important. One, that any student of history and parliamentary democracy, if we register, your viewers can look at it, register the various blots and low lines Indian democracy has been subjected to by different governments. Mr. Modi has a very clear template. He is going to test every low line out there. You talk about emergency, Mr. Modi is going to test the kind of emergency you see in Delhi, where Chief Minister is in jail, the kind of emergency you see in Manipur that continues to burn, and Mr. Modi is not ready to show courage to go to Manipur, the kind of emergency that you see in Jharkhand, the kind of emergency you saw in the 10 years in the parliament, where on an average one would expect that Dr. Manmohan Singh would have spoken the least in the parliament. But when you look at the statistics, the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Modi, under a thorough majority, spoke barely 30 times in the parliament, roughly 3 times a year. This is the Prime Minister who gives 6 election speeches a year in 6 different dresses. This is a parliament that met for less number of days than number of Sundays in the last 10 years, where parliamentarians were thrown out, where black laws on farmers were passed without the division vote, and where a woman member of parliament, esteemed member of parliament, was removed from parliament by the same person that is Om Birla. So Mr. Modi and BJP, look at history in a very clear manner. Let us identify all the blots in democracy, and can we compete against them? And that is how they establish the low-lying model of democracy that they want.
Okay, Tuheen, the charge certainly is that you have much to explain. What happened 50 years ago, of course, should not happen ever. But then that there is this effort by the government, which, you know, as the opposition says, there are images or instances of what they say as undeclared emergency. How many, you know, has the parliament really functioned in a manner of debate and discussion? Has that really happened? There are records to suggest that
Maria,
good high percentage of bills were passed with just 1 hour of discussion. 16% only sent to the select committee or standing committee, which essentially shows that all those demands of the opposition for further deliberations were turned down.
You know, I'm asking you, in the last 10 years, how many times have we misused Article 356? Not a single occasion. How many times have they misused it? A good 90 times. So that's the difference. If certain bills were not discussed, that's also, please don't intervene in the middle. Please have that courtesy.
That's what you do.
You know,
You
Maria,
sell
please ask her to behave herself.
Supriya, let him finish. I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you. Let him finish. Yes, please go ahead.
You know, do you expect us to really have a sensible discussion with them on Article 370 when their opposition to it has been known for since time immemorial? Do you expect us to have a sensible discussion with them on the CA? So these were very these were ideological issues, but I'm surprised that the Congress can be so logically challenged that they keep telling us that the people of the country have taught you a lesson by giving you 240 seats. By the same logic, the people of this country have been teaching them a lesson for the last 40 years, because the last time they got more than 240 was way back in 1984. So the Congress should get real. They have been rejected for the 3rd time by the people, and instead of even as recently as yesterday, They tampered with the spirit of the constitution by forcing the election of the Lok Sabha speaker, which has not happened any time in history.
Okay, well, you know, how do you respond to that? Supriya, will you please respond to that? I mean, how is it really tampering with the constitution if you say that, if you know, convention is that the opposition should get the deputy speaker's chair. If there was no commitment for the opposition for the deputy speaker's chair, if they have been forced to go for elections, then why blame the opposition then? Please go ahead, Supriya.
I have one point of view to make here. The last people who should be taking the moral high ground on not imposing a president's rule should be the BJP. You have actually orchestrated the highest auction of MLAs and MPs all over the country at the behest of your agencies, at the behest of big money. You have vilified Indian politics by running a washing machine, calling people corrupt, making them join you, they go squeaky clean. So please don't sit on your moral high pulpit and give us gyan on Article 356. You have auctioned MLAs and MPs who people have elected.
Okay.
And yes, I will say this one very important thing here. In the spirit of bonhomie, in the spirit of parliamentary democracy, if tradition had to be kept, we waited for a call. There was a call that had to be returned, and Mr. Kharge ji and Mr. Rahul Gandhi ji are on record to say that Rajnath Singh said he will be returning that call. We simply said we will support your candidate, but as convention goes and as it has been followed so far, you should let the deputy speaker be from the non-treasury benches. BJP is so drunk on power that they want to prove to the world that it is business as usual and it has been in the last 10 years. But guess what? Wake up. Smell the coffee. It will not be business as usual.
Okay.
The treasury benches will be met with very, very scathing, a very rational, a very responsible opposition. You will be called out because the people of this country want you to be reined in.
Supriya, I have another question here. The fact is that the constitution was altered soon after the imposition of emergency, with almost all political leaders behind bars. I am talking about the much debated 39th Amendment that kept the election of President, Vice President, Prime Minister, Speaker outside the purview of judiciary. So doesn't the Congress party's safe constitution pitch today seem slightly hollow?
Absolutely not. And I will tell you why. Mrs. Gandhi imposed the emergency and she's also on record to say that she made a mistake. And her DNA was so democratic that within months of imposing that emergency, she called for national elections. Rahul Gandhi, he has no business to, but he has actually been on record to say that emergency was a mistake. It should never be repeated. It was a dark chapter. I believe emergency was a mistake. There is no denying that. But if our leadership has accepted that this was a mistake made, the nation needs to move forward. And for the nation to move forward, the most sacred text that should govern us all needs to be upheld at every cost. And that is what we are hell-bent to. That is what we are committed to.
Ghanshyam.
That is what we have promised this country to do.
Okay, Ghanshyam, quickly, and then I'll ask Tuhin to respond.
Well, the spirit of Bharatiya Janata Party is what my friend Tuhin said. You want us to have a discussion with them on this topic, that topic, and that topic. It is not your free will. This is the constitution. This is what BJP does not understand. That parliament is where the nation has sent the representatives from across the country to have the discussions. Not the odd tweets that the Prime Minister sends on celebrating birthdays, but will shy away from discussing Manipur. So when BJP has this spirit, it existed in the last 10 years when they ran a dictatorship in the parliament.
When you have
but
him,
in this 5 years, the 5 years ahead of us, we know that the mandate on the ground is against BJP. The youth in the country are against BJP. The students in the country are against BJP. This paper leaking government is leaking itself by the day. And in 2 years, 1 year, whenever this government falls, we will see the kind of anger people will display against them.
Okay. Okay, Tuhin, the question is that if the Congress has apologized not once but multiple times, and if not one but multiple leaders of the Congress party, members of the Gandhi family have also apologized. While we remember what happened for those 21 months, and we should not forget, but why that reminder from the Speaker's chair?
Because like I mentioned, the younger generation needs to know. It was the darkest chapter in India's history.
Yes, I understand, but why is the Speaker starting on this note?
Because of the day. It was exactly on this day, 49
no,
years
it was
ago.
No, it was 25th. That was yesterday. The occasion was not today.
It was yesterday. Unfortunately, because of the swearing in the resolution could not be read. But ideally, if Congress wants to walk the talk after the resolution was read out by Speaker, that is the time Rahul Gandhi should have stood up and apologized for the 42nd constitutional amendment and for the 17 draconian constitutional amendments brought by them during emergency. Because while they may have casually apologized in the past, fact is that they have been a compulsive offender, and like I mentioned, spreading a doctored video with the Home Minister is shown as saying, that reservation would end. That again was a violation of the spirit of the Constitution.
Maria, can I make a very small point here?
Yes, please, go ahead.
There are 2 points that I want to make, and I'm going to make them very forcefully. Mr. Sinha just said in his previous answer that how can you expect us to discuss this article and that article with the opposition? Are the opposition benches comprised of kindergarten students? No, sir. The opposition benches comprised of people elected by the people of this country. The opposition MPs represent a huge chunk, a huge number of India's people. So you have no business to sit on your high pulpit and decide whether they have the brains to, whether they are capable of discussing matters. We are as capable, if not more, than you to discuss matters that you don't understand anything clearly about. I also want to say one more thing. Younger generation needs to know follies of the past. Oh, yes, they do. Which is why they should be taught Godhra. Why are you removing Godhra from NCERT books? Why are you removing all the rights from NCERT books? Because it paints you in a bad picture. That's the reality. If the younger generation needs to learn from the past, they should learn from the past and take lessons forward. Why are you teaching people history that suits you? And the last point I want to make, the absolutely last people in the world who should talk about fake news, misinformation, doctored videos is a member of the BJP. Your fake news IT cell, also known as your IT cell, has indulged in assassinating reputations of my leadership, of me, of my co-workers, of my people, by engineered, doctored videos. That's what you have indulged in. So you should be the absolutely last person who should talk about this. Absolutely last person.
While the Congress may claim that it has apologized for the emergency in the past, that was a casual apology. Like I mentioned, if they really want to walk the talk, if they are repentant about
Godhra?
This is the day.
When will you teach about Godhra? Why are you running away from it?
Flashes the Constitution book. He should also apologize for 17 draconian amendments brought during emergency. Otherwise, flashing that book does not make any sense.
Okay. The question
you
here
have run a fake news
what is a casual apology here, Tuhin?
No. You show me when has he seriously apologized for emergency?
Maria,
for 19 days they talk about Godhra. Have they ever spoken about the 1984 riots? The kind of falsehood they spread about Godhra, now they want it to be, inserted in NCERT books, whereas every court in the country has absolved the government, Gujarat government, of the falsehood they spread. Why don't they talk about 1984?
Okay, I'll start wrapping up this conversation and I'm going to begin with you, Ghanshyam. 30 seconds, please. 1 moment, please. 30 seconds, quickly.
Maria, in the spirit of constructive opposition that was showcased by my leader Akhilesh Yadav ji, I want to assure your viewers and every citizen of the country that 18th Lok Sabha will see some of the best debates that this generation has seen, with stalwart leaders, with solid voice on the ground, support of the people, focus on the issues of the people. No matter how hard BJP tries its way to make a toxic atmosphere, run away from debates, or indulge in dictatorship, as well as turn off the mic, suspend members, change the camera, with Akhilesh Yadav ji's leadership, I can assure the viewers
the new
and
Lok Sabha,
that we will
because
have
of the increased strength
debates.
of the opposition, will have certainly different realities. Yes, Supriya, go ahead.
No, I think you should let Tuhin speak because I would like to have the last word since this has been a blame game on me.
Okay, Tuhin. And I usually give the women the last word on my show, so please go ahead, Tuhin.
You should not break tradition.
What more do I explain? The Congress needs to walk the talk when it comes to, protecting the Constitution. Even Supriya ji was talking about the Kashmir problem. Even the Kashmir problem had its roots in Farooq Abdullah's elected government being shown the door and him being replaced by GM Shah, an unworthy brother-in-law of because Congress was used to,
what exactly are you talking about?
You don't
Can I
know
Okay, I
now
have
have the
just
last
enough
word?
time for you, Supriya.
Read it
Please go
out.
ahead. 30 seconds, please.
This is the constitution. The people of this country have given us the mandate to protect the rights that this constitution guarantees to each one of India's people. They can be laborers, they can be farmers, they can be young, they can be old, they can be minorities, they can be SC, ST, OBC, whoever you are. You have given us the mandate to safeguard your rights, this constitution, and come what may, we will do it. The
All right.
18th Lok Sabha will see some fiery debates. The 18th Lok Sabha will see some sensible debates. But what the 18th Lok Sabha will not see is a government roughshotting over opposition, because we will
Bring
not
it on.
allow that to happen.
All right.
Because the opposition
Bring it
has
on.
Supriya
given a
Shridev,
mandate
Tuhin
by the
Sinha,
people.
Ghanshyam
Bring it
Tiwari.
on.
Really appreciate
Because
your
every
time
time
on
we
this
bring it-
discussion. With that, it's a wrap from me.